Hazel stood on the edge of the world. The waves battered the shore far below, winds howling like the screams of 1,000 lost souls. Yamunia stood on the other side of the cliff, Sawyer unconscious at her feet. She was panting heavily. There was a rock in her hands. She looked like a deer in headlights. In a way, she was. "Don't come any closer," she spat out, "or I'll kill him." Hazel could feel the others tense up behind her. Heard Mary Kate mutter, "Bitch." Hazel didn't stop. "I'm not kidding. I'll do it." "There are only 3 ways this is going to end, Princess," Hazel began. She felt calm in that moment. 1, you put that rock down and come with us peacefully. No one dies, and we make sure no one kills you if and when you go back home. She took another step forward. 2, you kill Sawyer with that rock. Another innocent dies at your hands, and you either jump off that cliff behind you to escape me, or I kill you. Hazel hissed, watching as the princess tensed under her gaze. She was soft. She had never faced down someone so ready to end her life before. 3, Hazel began as she rocketed forward in a move she hadn't had to do since she was a teenager. "Is my favorite." Hazel wrapped her hand around Yamunia's wrist and let Yair do her worst. In hardly a second, there was no longer a way for Yamunia to drop the rock. At all. Her skin melted to the stone, her legs melding together and her eyelids peeling themselves from her face. Yair always had a better imagination than her. She let it hold for a second, despite the screams of the princess and the gasps of her teammates before she turned Yamunia back to normal. Although throwing the stone down the cliff's edge as she did. "I show you a taste of a face worse than death, and you wisen up and learn that there is no winning for you here," she spat out as the princess fell to her knees, panting and crying. Hazel bent down and healed Sawyer before standing and gesturing for the rest of the Kingmakers. Jasper ran up and held Yamunia, hauling her up. Mary Kate stood at Hazel's side. "What the hell?" Hazel fixed her in a look. "No more kitty gloves. If people here want to keep pushing us, threatening us, trying to murder us, then we're going to show them exactly why we aren't the people you want to make enemies of." "Still, did you have to?" She arranged for her brothers to be taken out as candidates for the throne, killed her own mother in cold blood when she found out, tried to have one of us kidnapped, and almost killed Sawyer. She deserved every bit of that, and if it were up to me, she'd be dealing with something permanent on top of it. Hazel hissed as she stared at the ocean. If this world wanted to keep taking things from her, wanted to keep proving itself so irreversibly deadly, she'd show this place why, once upon a time, she'd been known as the most powerful rift in California.
It's a magical, mystical time. It's anecdotal adventures.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of City of Mist Kingmakers. I'm your Master of Ceremonies, Ashley, and these are my players.
Tele, and I will be playing Adalaie Ponteva, the Rift of Nemesis.
I'm Sonya, and I will be playing Emma, the Rift of Athena.
I'm Juno, and I'll be playing Jane, the Rift of Hera.
I'm Simon, I'm playing Aron Frankel, whose rift is King David.
And Cassidy, who plays Alice, whose rift I can't pronounce, charitably. And I don't want to butcher it, so I'm just not going to do that. Will be joining us later down the line. Where we last left off, we met Alice for the first time. The group went to Skystead and regrouped there, meeting up with the people from the labyrinth, picking them up and moving them here, healing them from their grievous injuries, at least one of them, Autumn's grievous mental wound. And we left off with you guys sort of eating and talking and just relaxing a little bit At the tavern, which is... I wrote it down somewhere. It's named after the first tavern I ever did in D&D.
It was something duckling.
Yeah, Duck's Cradle. There we go. I wrote it down. Yes. To the point we were talking before we started recording about downtime. This would be the time for downtime. It is a mechanic we have rarely used, but we have actually had a lot of. I just forget about it.
Oh, I'm reading what the moves are.
Yeah, so feel free to remind me when you think downtime is appropriate.
Okay.
Do I just remove one of the burns?
You can use your downtime for that, I believe.
Oh, you can recover
Yeah.
all of them.
Recover from your last activity.
I thought it had to do a one at a time.
So recovering from your last activity for each ongoing status still affecting you, the MC will tell you if and how it can be reduced during your downtime and by how many tiers. Alternatively, the MC can allow you to reduce one or any of some of your statuses by 1 tier for each relevant tag you have. Yeah.
Can I go search around for pen and paper?
Absolutely. I know what's coming. Go find your pen and paper.
Yeah.
If that's how downtime works, can I get rid of Grave Collar yet? Because I haven't been cured of that.
Same here.
Wait, you haven't?
No.
I thought they gave you the line when you were there. No?
Not me.
We didn't? I could have sworn that we did.
Nikita healed you, didn't he?
Yeah, I could have
Nikita healed. No, not me. I refused treatment. At the
Adalaie
lab.
didn't
There's
get
no way
healed.
Of course you did. You
No,
did.
but
Because I
after
was like, there's no way I'm getting out of here. I cheated once.
after we healed the garden, I grabbed like extra limes and I'm like
Yeah, but
made
they lose their magical power after they leave the garden.
yeah, but I thought she came out by the holy place. I thought we had you eat one.
Maybe you did.
I think
remember.
that happened. We're gonna assume that happened.
Okay.
That would have been like a really
If it didn't, we're
Odd
retconning right now.
yeah, that would have been a really awful oversight on our part.
I would like to add
you're gonna
Adalaie did
die.
not get healed either. She came back later.
So Adalaie for sure did.
I mean, I'm not gonna retcon that because I
No.
don't think the group was thinking of Adalaie's health and safety
No.
in any of the moments after Adalaie came back.
I didn't realize you got. I think I'm like forgetting.
The whole group was poisoned by the grenade.
Yeah, because that was before we left the labyrinth,
Yes,
right?
that was the cookies that Marcel helped you make. She slipped the poison in them.
So Kai and Alyssa and the others are also still poisoned, presumably.
Presumably, though, as I've said previously, it's dormant right now. It says 0 tier status. You've not experienced any ill effects from it. It's just there. Ominously.
And I don't like that. So I looked at the downtime thing, and it says prepare for your next activity, and I think it says you can recover all your burnt power tags. I don't know.
Let me look.
So I've been thinking about it, and I think that the clue that we're not supposed to follow is the dove thing.
Wait, what? Can you repeat that? I didn't
You know
hear
how the thing we found, the statue, the little poem thing, said something about. Where is it? Let me just find.
There's a false
that
clue.
real quick. Yeah. It says like.
I honestly thought the false clue was the sword pointing towards the.
Yeah, it's definitely not that. Topple the throne and crown one of those of dead king's blood. Where was the false clue thing? Blackened hearts, the lead is a lie. Do you think the lead could be the dove? Person?
Before you continue, to answer your question, Juno, yes, prepare for your next activity can recover your power tax.
Okay. I think I'll probably do that, whatever that entails.
Yeah. You can't get rid of the fader crack, but you can remove the power tags.
Can you even remove a fader crack during downtime?
You can remove it, not during downtime, but you can remove it by getting 3 attention on that theme.
Okay.
spending the attention to get rid of the fame.
Instead of upgrading your card.
Yeah.
So I'm probably gonna remove the burns and cracks.
Now please go back to dissecting my poetry like we're in an English class.
Are we getting
Yes.
graded on this?
Yes, there will be a quiz.
The quiz is just us finding the enemy.
And killing him.
The end, just like the quiz has.
This quiz has some real-world applicable stakes, is all I'm saying.
Oh god.
Okay.
Okay. Just the big bad evil guy trapped us in a cage. Okay, so you saw my poem. Now here's a quiz. If you get it right, you're allowed to kill me. If not, well then you're dead. Like what?
That's right, the big bad evil guy was an English teacher this whole time.
Was he Lord English?
No, we're not allowed to talk about Homestuck here. We're not allowed.
It was a reference to a canon joke.
Anyway.
I still think that, well, what lead have we been given? Follow the,
Well, there's bells mentioned.
the what?
There are bells mentioned in each of the
Oh, wait.
poems.
Oh, wait, sorry. The lead is a lie. What lead have we been given before encountering the statue? I think it's the dove is what it's referring to. That we
I'm
shouldn't
pretty
trust
sure it's the lead of the sword pointing towards the house. Or
I don't think it's that. I think that's too obvious, like Alice said.
well, maybe it has to be obvious because we're not too good at solving puzzles. And when we do get an obvious clue, we overthink it.
And I think that's too obvious, even for us. Wait, is there lead anywhere?
Or what?
Is there lead anywhere?
Lead?
You think it's
Lead?
you think it's a pun? Is that your theory?
That's one of my very many
Oh, we'll put
conspiracy theories.
that on the Sonya conspiracy board.
Yeah. Oh my god. I want to make a conspiracy board at the end with literally all the conspiracy.
Yeah, I feel like some of your conspiracies have been systematically proven false recently.
Yeah. We are
What
not
one?
very happy about caves.
Dragon chosen. I'm
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
sure that's out for now, for sure.
Damn. Unfortunate.
We were so certain.
Well, I had a feeling that case was like that. I'll be.
Hey, no backtracking. You were right there with me.
Yeah, but you convinced me.
Anyway, how are you spending your evening here?
Adalai's writing a letter.
Yes, you are. What about you, Aron? What are you doing?
I don't exactly know what is
Are we in
going
a
on.
tavern?
Yes.
You're in an inn and tavern called the Duck's Cradle. A bunch of people are around.
Question: what are the chances it's a bell on the front desk?
50% chance.
Can I go up to it if it exists and ring it, and then just walk away?
Roll me a d6.
Okay.
Roll to ring the bell.
Dude, I want one
Tiny
of those like
dragon
little,
just pops up and eats your hand.
the really shiny.
Got it too.
Okay.
You missed the bell and hurt
No,
your
there
finger.
is no bell in this
Damn.
inn and
You're
tavern.
really bad looking for bell.
Not that you tell.
I was gonna ring it. Well, then I'm gonna spend the entire time writing, like, in a little notebook or whatever, what I know about the poems, what they could have led to, what they did lead to, what they could lead to, you know.
Okay. And keep in mind that you guys do need to start deciding what you're going to do next. What is your plan?
Just waiting for the dove people to meet us, if they meet us.
Oh yeah, we need to go to the museum.
Right.
Jane, what are you up to?
Can I be like trying to get the basics down of sign language?
Ooh, that's a good idea.
Alice is currently preoccupied, and she would be the one to teach you because she is currently in conversation with Felix.
Okay. I want to be doing something with Alyssa because I want, and Ezekiel. I want to still try to just. I don't want to just leave the children alone to be depressed, and I don't know. I want to make sure that they're doing all right, and because neither of them have had a very good past couple of days, so I just want to hang out with them and play with them, and
that's safe to say. But of course, you can spend your downtime hanging out with the children. Aron, any more ideas on what you wanted to be spending your downtime doing?
I'm gonna do anything substantial, just sit somewhere and just, I don't even know.
Ponder, mourn,
About his lost love.
Yeah. Yearn.
Hate on the entire mortal plane.
I would talk with King David.
I don't think I can do that.
Yeah, I think that is Emma exclusive right now.
And just contact, like, historical figures that have been dead for literally hundreds of thousands of years.
I mean, I occasionally talk to Nemesis. Doesn't mean that she talks back, but...
Wait. Question. If she's ever talked to Nemesis, have I ever heard Nemesis respond?
You've never been around Adalaie having a private conversation with a Nemesis?
Monologue with Nemesis.
We don't know that. It could be a monologue. It could be a conversation. There is no proof. Schrodinger's Nemesis, as you would say. So yeah, you spend the evening. Alice's friend Alec is paying for all your food at the moment, and he's walking around and just kind of talking to whoever. Ryan and Autumn are still outside.
Someone might need to go check on the kids.
I mean, there's a window. They're sitting on like a park bench outside. You can see them. They're not like far away. Autumn's just trying not to dry heave.
Again, I think she should talk to Felix about getting that memory erased.
Something to consider. Certainly.
Yeah. And I don't think Felix would be against that. There are just some things you don't
I think he
want to
would, because
remember.
he'd have to see it as well to get rid of it. And
Then he can just sort of poof it from his own mind, store it in the back of his head. You know, in
Not
the
that
weird
easy,
little
trust
misty
me.
place that he doesn't really like to go.
You guys are deeply familiar with how Felix organizes his headspace.
I'm gonna like straight up put an axe to park them his head at one point. We went inside the head thing in your door and you just kicked it down aggressively.
Yeah, that.
Ooh,
that
can I
did
spend
happen.
some of the
That
time?
happened.
Can I spend some of the time drawing what I remember certain people's minds look like? Their labels.
Oh, from when you had mind powers? That was a
Yeah.
long time ago. Roll
A
me.
very detailed drawing.
Yeah, roll me an investigation check to see how much you remember of that.
Just what Aaron looks like right now, just him festering over his
Of
feet
my mind.
in the corner.
Well, she's probably put
Yeah,
in your
it's
mind
just
I mean,
more
I
than
would,
others.
I would think that Jane's is actually the easiest for you to remember because you know her the best.
Yeah. That's
I
probably
got an 8 straight roll.
Okay.
And what can I remember? What can I use to remember? Say knowledge.
I mean, that works.
Say power.
It definitely works.
I know you.
That could not be more fitting at the moment. So yeah,
yeah.
I'll give those to you.
Yep.
Those Nice tags this time.
And they were
Ready made. What questions do you want to ask me? I'm assuming you're able to vaguely draw them, but if you want to know the specifics of what you are drawing, those are what you're spending your questions on. Or if you want to infer something specific.
Do I remember anything, like in hindsight, is there anything different about Leo's brain that I didn't remember at the time? Like specifically about the mist creature?
I mean, you sussed out Leo's brain pretty thoroughly. Looking back on it with some of the knowledge you've gained now with your knowledge of Fae and their inner workings and knowing that that Leo has his own Fae, you didn't get as much resistance to you entering his head as you would have had it, like, whenever you are forcefully entering someone's brain, like their deeper thoughts, not just their surface thoughts, usually you'd encounter some resistance from their rift, which before was just kind of, oh, they're magic, vague magic, but now you know, oh, it's the second presence in their head. It's like, hey, I live here too, get out. You didn't get that resistance when you went into Leo's head.
Interesting.
You definitely got resistance, but you think that was more from the fog creature than the usual resistance.
What other questions?
You can always bank the clue for later if you don't have anything on your mind right now. Just remember them, because we've actually banked a lot of clues, and not once have, like, really any of you used your banked clues.
Yep.
I know I have like a few banked for
Yeah, but the thing is, if
specifically for why he ran away.
Yeah, like from session 0.
I think that's the only thing I remember having banked clues for.
I know.
Talking. We speak English here.
Yes. I know Juno has quite a few big clues.
Yeah.
Can't list them which ones, but I just remember every time she asked the question.
And I banked a
were
clue.
always big clues.
I think I did investigation checks the most out of everybody, I think.
Yeah, once Emma
How about
launched the
this
mind reading
question?
powers.
I have a library of big clues.
Yes?
Was there anything unusual in anyone's mind that I didn't know was unusual until now?
Yes. Solid yes to, I don't know, let's go down the list, because you knew something was unusual about Kai's mind already.
Okay.
You could probably put a name on it now, that now that you've seen powers like Felix's in action on other people.
Yeah.
Something messed with his memories.
Okay. Would it read across like how someone messed with Hayes' memories?
I mean, you guys don't have exact information on the mental state of Cade, since Felix was the one who did that.
Kate has no mental state.
Face is a fairy.
Then going down the list, I'd say Felix's is probably the next most obvious, being that his Fae is probably unusually active in his mind, like he had a much readier defense, not only because of his... At first, I think you would have assumed it was because he had similar power set to yours. So he had more access to that mental space. But now you think it is probably more likely that his Fae had a better ability than he had a better ability. Let's see. Who else? Who else do we want to go down this unusual mental state rabbit hole with? Because certainly we could be here all episode. Your rifts, unusual mental states, are sort of your patent.
Yep.
Yeah, I think those are the two standout ones, probably.
Okay.
If I think of anything later, I can fill in some blanks, or if you wanted to know about someone specific.
Yeah.
You made a lot of interesting facial expressions over there.
This is unrelated to the game, what she's expressing too.
No, clearly, I get it now. For reference, in the chat, Sonya just had like a revelation over one of the NPCs.
No, I texted it to
She had the
her.
revelation. She sent it to me. And I was
Tele
like,
had a revelation over a character from our D&D campaign that we ran last year, of one of the children who was an artificer I named Patton. And they asked, was Patton named Patton because he was an inventor? The answer is duh. Didn't take you this long to figure that
Yes!
Why did you realize this? Wait, like, why did we pick now of all times to realize
Because
this?
something that Ashley said just sort of put like, wait a second.
Yeah, she said something about patented mental states because we have.
Yeah. And it just kind of...
Just a little lightning bolt went off in your head.
Yes.
Anyway,
A really
enough.
dusty light bulb went off. Like it's like you can barely see the light. It's just covered in dust and cobweb. It turned on. Like, wait a second.
It flickers on and then pops out.
It's the how many of Ashley's NPCs' names are secretly puns. The answer is more than you think.
All of them.
Anyways.
I have confidence in your ability to turn everything into a pun if you think hard enough about it.
True.
I have confidence in your guys' abilities to overthink things enough to make it a pun, so.
Yep. See, it's one or the other. Either you purposely made a pun or we make it a pun.
Yeah, that's
And you
sort of
say,
the thing.
and you say, yes, that was intended.
The whole time. Anyway. Back to the actual game. We are here to play. So, Emma, you spend some time sketching out just what you remember of people's general mental states back when you had power. Power to do so.
Just connecting certain dots. Just like, huh. Didn't realize that.
Yeah. But, seems like everyone's feeling, for the majority, pretty antisocial. Adalaie, I'm assuming you find some way to send that note before the end of the evening?
Yes. She goes over and asks Alec if he knows of any like postmaster or mailman to send this to.
Oh, yeah, there's a messenger service just down the street.
Thank you.
Sure.
Who are you sending this to?
You'll find out.
Oh no.
I like how Adalaie's still keeping secrets from the rest of the group.
Well, this one I know you guys would try to stop me.
That's the point.
Makes
That's
it
why
so
you do it
much
every
better.
time. That's why this doesn't make it. You can't keep. Or you just like, hey, I murdered all these people. You should turn me in. She's laughing, so I'm pretty sure that was pretty spot on.
No.
So Adalaie meanders out of the duck's cradle sometime in the evening.
Does anyone care enough to be paying attention to the whereabouts of people anymore?
No.
Of Adalaie specifically.
You guys have lost so much. Your teamwork was already pretty low, but I think now it's solidly in the negatives.
Yeah.
I think if it wasn't before, it is now.
But
Emma just occasionally does a head count.
Yeah, and eventually you do a head count. You're like, huh, short old lady is missing.
Again!
The problem woman is missing.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing? We don't know.
We know it's a bad thing because every time you disappear, you cause more problems.
Accurate
Ouch.
statement.
Harsh but true.
I'll probably mention that she's missing to whoever's nearby. It's like, hey, have you seen Adalaie?
Kate bangs the table. God damn it.
Alec will
Takes
actually
another
just
shot.
Alec will actually just say, "Oh, she asked about the post office. So she seemed like she had something to deliver."
Why?
Makes distinctive
sending
eye
her?
contact with Emma. Gestures to children. Gestures to the door.
Where's the post office?
So it's just down the street. You can't miss it.
Thank you. I'm going to leave and go find Adalaie.
What's my dangerous chemicals? Is Adalaie is moving around today? How are we gonna find today? Let's spin the wheel.
Is the letter laced?
A, one person. B, a small country. Or C, half the Earth.
If your answer wasn't all of the above, you're wrong.
Oh wait, what weapon is it? Is it A, a pointy stick, B, some chemicals, or D, a weapon of mass destruction?
AKA
Again,
Catalina.
D.
If your answer wasn't all of the above, you were wrong.
Again.
Has Tele brought nuclear weapons to the medieval world? If you answered yes, you are correct.
We don't know how, but she somehow figured out.
She's good at smuggling. She's
Well, she doesn't have a
evaded.
purse anymore.
How many war crimes are you going to get arrested for today? If you said all of them, you are correct.
How many will she be convicted for? 0.
If you said none, really none, you were correct.
Yes.
A convention is a checklist to you. It's just like, oh boy, what do I get to do now?
No. No.
Anyway, Adalaie, you're not exactly trying to be stealthy, are you?
No, I'm just walking.
Okay, then I'd say it's long enough that you're on your way back from the post office at this point, and Emma, you see her on the way back.
The weapon's been delivered. It's far
Oh,
too late.
Adalaie. I
Yes.
thought you went to the post office.
Mm-hmm.
What were you sending?
A note to our friends.
You gonna roll investigation on that, Emma?
Fred. Yeah, I'm gonna roll investigation. Can I roll investigation on that?
You can.
No. It's already pretty clear. She's not telling the truth. Friends? What friends do we have here?
Well, not here. Well, no, I think they're visiting for a while.
What are you talking about?
Fine, I'm speaking out of my ass. What the fuck do you want?
Who did you send the letter to?
None of your damn business.
Well, is it going to affect us?
No,
You heard
probably just gonna affect me.
If it affects you, then it affects all of us.
No. Some things are personal.
this is a distant explosion.
There's no distant explosion.
As long as it doesn't affect us, then oh well.
Anyways, it was a note to Eos saying, "Give me my purse back."
Okay. That's fair.
As you guys
Surprisingly.
walk back, there is the street's pretty quiet at night because Alice led you to a bit of a quieter side of town. There is a very rhythmic sort of tapping on the street that sounds a bit like a cane tapping on the floor, which you are semi-familiar with traveling with Adalaie. And the sound gets a little louder behind you and you can see two people walking.
Yes.
Arm. One has her arm laced around the other's. It is a younger-looking woman in a blindfold, and probably a middle-aged gentleman. Fought presumably making sure she can walk, considering she has a blindfold. And she has a cane out in front of her that she's using as a walking to sort of guide her walking.
I'm gonna step out of the way so she can pass.
The gentleman will nod. The gentleman will sort of nod thankfully to you as you do so, but they continue to walk forward, and it seems like they might have a similar destination to you as they turn into the duck's cradle.
Adalaie's going to share a look with Emma.
Flashbacks to that one blind, supposedly investigator.
We don't know about that. Huh. How odd.
I thought we did know about
She's probably just, I'm just gonna say this.
That was an interlude thing.
Okay.
She's probably just another person there.
Right, because there's no one we could have asked without revealing what we'd done, and we didn't choose to do that.
You can't exactly subtly look into, hey, who's investigating this massacre? Literally everyone, all of the police, literally all of them.
If anyone asks, I'm your grandma.
Okay. Are we going in or are we going for a long walk?
Long walk? Are you good for that?
Long walk. Long walk.
So you loop around, and the rest of you see the same sight enter the tavern with a jingle, and the gentleman leads her, this presumably blind woman, to the bar where they have a hushed conversation with the bartender.
Out of character. I just want to, long walks never lead to anything good in this universe.
No.
They never do. Just a domino effect of bad. So
one gets murdered, the other one has a confrontation, the other one finds a passed out young girl who eventually leads to our kidnap. Another one leads to capturing black squirrels and getting tackled.
That one was fun.
Anyways.
That was the only good one.
Yeah, you, and after they have that conversation, the gentleman slides some coin over and they sit down at the bar and have drinks.
How late is it?
Pretty late at this point. It's probably about 10 or so in the evening.
Jane is probably up in a room with making sure that the children are going to bed.
Like, go to bed, yeah. It's bedtime, go to sleep.
So Jane is probably not there.
Yeah.
Are you reading them a bedtime story?
Yes.
Sure, yeah.
What story?
Act it out, Juno. Read the story out loud.
I'll tell them a story about pirates.
What kind of pirates?
Kind of like Robin Hood-esque pirates that steal from the rich and give to the poor.
Fantastic.
So it's Robin Hood Pirates.
Robin Hood, High Seas Edition.
Yes.
Anyway, eventually you two get back from your long walk. Or do you do something on this long walk?
We peek through the window, and if they're still there, we go for a longer walk.
They're still sitting at the bar. They seem to be talking to each other.
Do you remember if there's a back door?
Is there a back door?
I mean, there are other patrons in the bar. It's not just them.
Yeah, true. Maybe they're just normal patrons. So weird. Wait, does the woman with the blindfold look human?
Yes. the woman with the blindfold has long black hair and very, very pale skin, which is sort of stands out because most of the people in the area have tan or dark skin. The gentleman beside her looks much more like a local tanner skin, dark brown hair.
She must be from out of town like us.
Yeah.
But they are both dressed rather luxuriously for this part of town.
Pillars.
Shall we go in? They're probably not. They're probably just normal people.
If they come over and ask us something, pretend that I'm deaf, or if I have dementia.
Didn't we talk about this before?
Well, yeah, we talked about possibly me pretending to have dementia, which I think I might have.
I wouldn't be surprised sometimes.
Yeah, I'm not too surprised either. I mean, my mama had it.
Runs in the family.
Yeah.
But didn't we talk about, like, your story that we were gonna...
That I just went to go find...
Oh yes, your elaborate lie that you're going to tell Alice.
Yeah. That I just went to go find Catherine.
That you just definitely decided not to talk about.
And I don't remember if I talked to the barkeep, so we're just gonna say that I went to go get a drink, and if the barkeep says anything about who I am, I'll just pretend I have dementia and I told them the wrong name.
Yeah. Or just pretend you forgot that for some reason or something. Not that you necessarily...
This guy's not going to the bar at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not mentioned in the bar.
Yeah, you eventually go back, if not to stay in the bar, to go to bed.
Yeah.
They don't approach you or anything.
Relaxes a bit. Oh, good.
And eventually they, after having a drink and some food, they go up the stairs very slowly because one of them has a blindfold.
Blind.
And is using her cane to maneuver the stairs.
Please don't have a room next to us. Please don't have a room next to us.
But eventually you all head to bed, assumably, and get up the next morning.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Quick head count in the morning, as per usual.
Alice and Alec will probably go back home and come back to meet with you the next morning. They don't want to pay for a tavern when they have a house.
That's fair.
Yeah. You guys eventually...
I do a head count in the morning. Make sure everyone is there.
Everyone seems to be present. Catherine included.
Okay, good. Good to know. Relaxes a bit.
Yeah, once again, there's a free breakfast.
Woo.
And Alice will walk up to you guys and ask what you want to do for the day.
Go to the museum.
Oh, yes, the museum.
And she'll nod and point it out on a map of the city to you guys.
Okay.
I wonder if Eos will be there. Probably.
I'm pretty sure he lives there.
Pretty sure he lives in all museums.
Yeah. It's sort of like sets up a hammock and a tent.
Nice bottle
right
of
next
wine.
To some, next to some dinosaur bones.
Sleeps in the
Under
T-Rex.
the dinosaur bone.
Yeah.
Under
No.
the dinosaur.
In the rib cage.
Yes.
Yes.
Sets the hammock up in the rib
The rib
cage.
cage.
No one bats an eye.
Oh, that's just our collector.
Our local museum gremlin.
Yes.
He's an enthusiastic collector. He likes to get nice and personal with the things we found.
Yes.
Cue him, like, decorating the dinosaur.
Yes.
Just Christmas
Add
lights
stickers to
everywhere.
the inside.
Takes like a sticker book out from Adalai's purse.
Yeah.
No. No.
Anyway, so you guys are waking up in the morning. Alice has marked the Black Feather Emporium, which is the name of the museum, on your map.
And the kids, guess what? We're going to museums today.
Exciting.
What child is excited to go to the museum that's not the children's museum?
Yeah, it's more gonna be like an art museum. Look, don't touch.
Hey, if they never know they touched, then
It's fair game. As you guys are eating breakfast, there's probably like a board in this inn and tavern where they post local news bulletins. And one is definitely catching your eye.
And what's that?
It is in big letters. It is labeled the Ross Manor Massacre. And it seems to be there's a 50,000 feather reward for further information, leading to the capture and arrest of the culprit. And there's some news related to the case underneath it.
What does the news say?
It talks about like how many people are being put on this case, since so many high-profile families were murdered. And it has a statement from the Blade Master, one of the people on the throne, part of the council. The Blade Master's name is Evita. And it is a statement about their presumed timeline on catching the case. And her statement is, "We're very confident that we will be able to catch the killer responsible for this tragedy within the month."
If I'm not
flee the
dead yet.
country. Time to flee the country.
And it mentions the trademaster, Armando, hiring out some private detectives to look into the case. Apparently, very local, famous detectives named Shari, who is renowned for having never not solved a case she's taken.
I'll bet.
Oh, interesting.
Well, sucks to be her, doesn't it?
Oh, you weren't there for the interlude. There's an interlude about her that she's not actually blind, but her eyes are like full on red and she can track blood. And so Catalina's blood was there and she's like, oh, we're gonna find the culprit.
Shit, Cat.
Yep.
Cat still has the gash.
I feel like Jane would have healed that up if she could.
Okay, but no, also just track the blood.
Actually, maybe Jane wouldn't have.
Yeah, it was also it was dealt with a blue heart weapon, so your magical healing might not have been as effective.
Yeah. Should we take Catherine with us to the museum today?
Definitely scarred. But she's wearing a magical disguise, so.
Yeah.
I think we should.
Yeah.
Probably better.
I feel like she would enjoy going to the museum. Instead of staying up in the room all day.
Well, I'm not going to be the one to talk to her, so good luck.
Did everyone
Thanks
mad
for throwing me under the bus, but I get it. Adalaie waddles upstairs.
What did you say, Aaron?
I just had a character that I'm seeing everyone's pretty upset with Catalina murdering a bunch of people.
Yeah. Seems to be the general mood.
Of the party.
Yeah.
Emma is
One
refusing to
except
talk
who
or
does
even
not
look
care
at
at this point.
Emma is refusing to talk or even look at Catalina.
Adalaie waddles up to the
Yarnwood,
door.
you're pat in the back. Good job.
Alice gives you guys some weird looks because she's still standing there listening to this conversation.
Oh, shit.
Alice and Alec are sort of looking at each other in like a silent conversation.
Not suspicious at all.
We said we're going with Catherine to the museum. I kind of spaced out the part, but I didn't know they were there.
They haven't left.
I kind of.
Adalaie knocks on Catherine's door.
And answers.
Does
We
she
headed
have
somewhere?
a tiara on right now?
Yeah, she's in disguise.
Yes. And it's preferable that you come with us as, we have a friend following close behind.
Lovely. Should I pack? Is this like a fleet thing, or can I leave my stuff here?
I don't know if we're coming back or not.
Okay, so what you're telling me is pack
Probably
a
coming
to-go bag,
Yes.
just in case.
Just in case.
Aye, I'll be ready in a minute.
Okay.
Question, where did Catalina's giant ball of gold go?
I wonder.
Oh no.
I wonder what she did with that.
She probably buried it somewhere. To be found. Imagine digging and just like trying to drill for like the house or something, and then just coming across this giant ball of gold in the ground.
So, you guys gather all your things and get ready to go to the Black Feather Emporium, which is a long walk. Skystead is a large city. It takes hours to get from one end to the other, and Black Feather Emporium happens to be on the nicer end of town. So it's quite a walk.
Aristocrat.
And you have to walk through the gates of the city to get there, which you didn't before, where you can see guards dressed in blood red armor looking down on the crowd from the gate. Travel seems to be slow. There's a line to get to the main gates. It looks like they're carefully checking everyone's things.
Wait, are we supposed to have ID?
It doesn't look like
Alex?
they're... Alex shakes his head. We don't have identification. There's nothing that they could check. It looks like they're just looking for contraband.
What is
What's considered
contraband?
Magical weapons if you don't have a Mages Guild membership or aren't a foreign emissary.
Are we considered foreign emissaries?
Presumably, if you reveal your status, I think they'd let you get away with most anything.
Okay. Well, we do have a...
You do have the Angel's Wing with you, which is so obvious, and all the magic stuff that you got in the labyrinth.
Yeah.
So you are the most you are the most contraband party ever.
Yes.
We have a
We're
literal.
gonna have to reveal who we are.
Poisons, drugs, those type of things as well.
Well, it's a good thing we got rid of the poisons.
Do you say that out
Say that
loud?
out loud.
Dear
No,
Lord?
this is Tele.
Just be like, ha ha ha. Mhm.
Just out of character, I feel like having an empty bottle that could have killed roughly 50 people might also be contraband.
I mean, Nikita's bottles are very stylized. Like the glass basically it's like putting a skull and crossbones on something. They're styled to be pretty obviously poisonous.
Probably for dumb party members like us who
Yeah,
I mean, Catalina didn't read that at all.
She just
She
took
took anything
everything.
that was a bottle.
Yeah, including the pepper spray. Oh my
Like,
god.
everything with a bottle, in an alternate reality, she just puts like a little bit of flavored water on it. It's like, wait, what?
Yeah,
It's like a grape flavor packet.
I had 2 different poison bottles and a bottle of pepper spray. So she took the pepper spray and mixed both of the poisons with pepper spray.
Oh God.
Made it that much worse.
Yeah.
Jane is gonna turn to people and she's like, "Why don't you guys? Why don't only like 3 of us go in to get recognized? Because it might be useful still to have some anonymity in the city."
I mean,
So
if
we
you
need to
guys
give all
don't
our
want to get
magical
checked,
weapons to you.
if you guys don't want to get checked by the gate, we can just go the long way around.
It's a long way around.
It's a circle wall. The Black Feather Emporium's just on the other side. It's a
Oh,
longer
then
walk, but
Why don't we do
we
that?
can go that way.
That might be more convenient.
Then Alec will start down one of the alleyways, away from the line. Which, you guys are leaving a line that's checking contraband pretty shadily, so like that does get you some books from the people both around you and the guards that are on the tower. Just like, that's kind of suspicious. But okay.
One could say that's kind of sus.
We got tired of waiting in line.
Yeah.
Clearly. So it
That'll
takes
hold up in court.
quite a bit longer, so you don't get to the museum proper until about midday.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just in the past when they've revealed their status as Kingmakers, we've gotten pretty rushed up to do important things, and we're trying to
Yeah, I just want to go to the museum.
Yeah.
It is the Black Feather Emporium is on this huge tract of land. The museum sort of starts before you even enter the main building. It costs 5 feathers to enter the museum.
So 3 crowns.
Thereabouts.
Adalaie pays
Lovely.
for everyone.
The ticketer will thank you. The museum sort of starts as soon as you get into the threshold because it looks like a lot of it is an outdoor museum with plants and artwork, that sort of thing featured outside, sort of topiaries carved to look like mythical beasts or framing out stories or legends.
Are there any new mythical beasts that none of us that I haven't heard?
I mean, you've seen the Andrathis symbol. Most of them feature Pegasi or Phoenix.
So,
This would be
There is
those
one scene that probably piques all of your interest at once because it is looks like a knight carved out of this rose bush fighting a dragon-esque topiary.
ooh, I'm gonna go up to that little plaque and see what that's about.
First King Paravel, Slayer of Dragons, is the title of the piece.
First King, what? Caravel?
First King Paravel,
Uh-huh.
Slayer of Dragons.
Interesting. And what was the dragon thing that I met in the labyrinth that said that her home was in Skarsgård?
She did not say that. At all.
She said she had a home
Yes.
and that her children are still there, which is not true.
Yes. She did say those things, but from most of the interactions we've had with the dragons, they have said they have come from a different continent. They are not local to Althara.
Oh, okay.
They had a war with the Fae at one point, you can gather.
Mm-hmm.
But the Emporium itself is rather extravagant in a very fitting way. It has a lot of very rich-looking art pieces. There are, looks like bards, different bardic groups hired to play pieces of music with, depending on what area you're in the museum, to sort of fit the pieces that surround it.
Ooh.
Or tell stories related to the pieces. Looking around, depending on
Imagine
the
being
bard.
hired to play the same song over and over and over again. That would get annoying.
Imagine being in the court in the 18th century. That's what that literally was.
Seriously? That's
Yes,
annoying.
that's why Mozart's pieces and Bach's pieces are so repetitive. Anyways.
There are guides available that will guide you through the museums for a few extra coin.
I want to look around for Eos.
Roll me an investigation check.
Okay.
This is where reading comprehension of fossil life, and I want to find some joy left in this godforsaken.
Yeah, there's some like actual pieces, like the bones of an ancient phoenix in one piece that was reconstructed.
Ooh, I'm gonna go over to that too, because that's interesting.
To look like to bird and a sort of a list of what they think it was like, because phoenixes have been long extinct in Drathis.
6.
What do you want to add?
I would like to add. My screen would load. Come on, there we go. I would like to add the look.
It's a 7.
Angel of Justice. I'm looking for justice for my lost purse.
It's pretty weak, but sure, I'll give it to you. I'm feeling nice today.
Thank you. Yeah, that's all I got.
8 2 clues. Your investigation will either expose you to danger, you'll get fuzzy, incomplete, or part true, part false clues, or if you ask the question of a person, they can ask you questions as well on the same terms. So ask your 2 questions.
Where would I think Eos would be in this museum?
Presumably like a corner. A shady corner. Maybe. If he works here, he might actually be working here. So you could also check there.
Okay. Do I see anybody who looks like they work here that's not the guides?
No. Although guides and everyone who works here wears the same uniform, it looks like they can sort of all perform the same. They're all trained to do pretty much every job, except for the bards. And even the bards sort of wear a variation of the same uniform.
Okay.
Which are these very black, they're dark black, very extravagant looking with dark red is what I meant to say. They're black, but they have dark red accents along them.
I guess I'll go over to a guide and ask for Eos.
The guide you approach is a younger gentleman, and he will look at you and go, "Can I help you, miss?"
Yes, I'm looking for a Mr. Eos.
And he sort of looks you up and down.
He has my purse. We're good friends. I left it at the cathedral.
Unfortunately, Mr. Eos is out on a job for the week. He works in acquisitions, but I can take a message if you wish.
Yes. Give me back my purse, you fucker.
And he takes that in stride, like he gets these messages 6 times a week. Of course, I'll let him know.
Also, where... Actually, no. That's the end of my message. I'll just ask him when he comes back. Have him
He
on.
was transcribing what you were saying, so he wrote that down and then like crossed it off. They will have a good museum trip.
Thank you.
Here's back to what he's doing.
Hey, Emma.
Yes.
Our little friend Eos isn't here.
Oh.
Apparently
he
went off
doing?
on a job.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
But about sort of, do you guys continue to peruse the museum, or?
Yeah.
Yes. Specifically for any other mythical creatures that are apparently real here.
There's a sketch of a unicorn.
I'm gonna read the description on that. What are unicorns like in this world? Do they have magic, or are they just...
It's in the extinct species section. In Drathis, the land surrounding Drathis used to be home to a large quantity of very magical beasts, but they've all died out for one reason or another. In the unicorn's case, it's that their main food source died out, which was water untouched by humankind. It was pretty specific.
One person bathes in a river and it kills an entire species.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
At least that's what it was
Remark
theorized.
about
And that's
that.
what the legend says anyway. It's that they thrived in areas untouched by any other living creatures, and as humans began to explore the land, those sorts of spots disappeared. So eventually they died out.
That is the worst evolutionary thing, like, ever. What the actual frick?
Unicorns aren't logical. They're unicorns.
Remark how just utterly dumb that sounds for a creature to have to evolve. but it is
Phoenixes
no-
died in battle because they were trained basically like steeds per knights, and they died out over the course of that. Specifically, they were usually considered to be the royal family steeds when they went into battle.
Okay. Which is shown because the little ring thing with Phoenix, but we don't know that.
Yeah.
And the little symbol of the Phoenix.
Yeah, their flag is red and orange overlaid on top of a black phoenix.
Yeah.
Most of the phoenixes aren't actually black. The royal family's phoenixes were those darker colors, but most people rode red or yellow phoenixes. There seemed to be like a whole rainbow of them, and they each kind of did different things. Red was the traditional heat fire based, but yellow was more revolving around light and healing, and it was generally ridden by rescue workers. But those type of specific phoenixes specifically died out in an Orikar attack.
The yellow one?
Yeah.
Okay.
They were the last species of phoenix to officially die off, and they did that in the first Orikar attack.
Okay.
A lot of this is sort of in Drathan history. So you can find a lot about the old king, the Paravel royal family, which were a group of knights. It was royal family tradition to lead from the front. If they went into battle, the king would always be the main head general, leading the knights, which is
Lovely.
sort of backwards to how Evra did it. Evra's emperors rarely ever left Ashmore.
So it's a military state, or was.
Yeah, Paravel was originally a very accomplished knight, and he just was really popular, so people made him king.
Sounds like
because-
George Washington.
And because they were kind of unsatisfied with Evran rule at the time, and they just expanded.
I would like to look around to make sure our little friends are not following us.
Oh, you're looking for a distinct-looking woman in a blindfold.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, are you going to use your other clue to find that?
Yeah.
Okay. You do see her. She's sitting on a bench, and there's like little food stands in the museum. So, the gentleman that is with her is bringing her food.
Does Emma look overly suspicious towards anyone with a blindfold on, or like who literally cannot see them? How obvious that you're like panicked over anyone who has something slightly over their eyes, like a low.
But the gentleman actually catches you looking, Adalaie. Sort of, you're looking from the inside of the building out at them because they're sitting in a park bench outside. But
I just hit my head in
you guys
curiosity.
sort of meet toward the window, and he sort of nods because he recognizes you from the night before. Before turns back and says something that you can't hear to.
Can I read lips?
No, he turned away from you.
Oh.
If only I could still read minds.
Sorry.
Just tune in. That would have been nice, but no.
But as you're watching them, it looks like a guide or someone who works here in uniform actually walks up to them, and sort of looking semi-concerned and starts talking to them. The woman makes like the woman makes like a wave away gesture and kind of smiles.
Was it the same guy I gave the note to?
No, it's a different. That looks like all of the employees have like quadrants they work in.
Okay.
This one's a woman, and talking to them concernedly. The blindfolded woman waves her away with like a smile and presumably a laugh.
I just go
Doesn't
up to you,
ease her
Adalaie.
concern. You watch the employee walk in and kind of walk through the entrance that you're right beside, and actually finds the guy that you were talking to before. Presumably he's a little higher up. Their nameplates are different colors.
Listening.
We might have a bit of a problem. What do you mean? And she leans over and whispers it to him. And he blinks. You can tell the guard that they need a warrant.
A warrant?
It's not the guard, though. Then they don't have jurisdiction. They're not doing anything. Don't bother them. For sure. Relax. And the woman goes on her way.
Looks over at you, Adalaie, with her look like, wow.
Jane, Aron, what are you guys doing during this?
I'm assuming Kai is like nowhere near Alyssa, right?
Oh, definitely not.
So I think Jane is just for the most part taking the role of guarding these kids. Nobody else, I think, is doing it right now. I don't know. Ryan might be with her. Ryan and Autumn might be with her. Just going around, trying to learn information and educate herself while still entertaining.
Yeah, and there does seem to be like a children's section to the Black Feather Emporium with more like participatory things, like examples of old games kids used to play in past centuries, or like a dress-up section with clothing that is in the older era.
Then we can definitely go
and
there.
play weapons and stuff. They have like a kids section.
Yeah.
This is a pretty big museum. It's pretty sprawling.
Okay. So we'll probably head over to the kids section then.
And Aron, what are you up to?
What did Emma do exactly? Since we were sitting there looking at fossils of a big bird.
I was learning about all the different mythical creatures in our minds that were actually real here, and then I overheard. Well,
And you got then So are you acting slightly suspicious over a person with a blindfold on, or?
Adelai's just
Yeah.
now looking out the window. Just sort of wistfully and distant.
Probably slightly, like, confused on what you guys doing?
I'm gonna make sure, not, stealthily look around, make sure no one's around. Not make it obvious.
What are you doing?
I'm gonna whisper to him, mutter to him, maybe, quietly make sure no one else is hearing. We have a few followers.
Very discreet.
And it seems like they might be part of working with the guard. Or something that needs a warrant.
Oh no, law enforcement.
Yes.
That's like one of us just murdered a bunch of people.
Yes, well.
Well, while she was doing that, I was just looking out the window.
I'm curious what what do they look like? I'm asking, what do they look like?
Well, if you glance over to your side a little bit,
The woman in the blindfold has long, dark hair. The blindfold is crimson in coloration.
So they tell me basically that the person you're scared of had a blindfold on.
She has a cane resting sort of in her offhand, and she's like drinking a cup of tea right now.
Can we could I look and see them from where we're standing? Or
Yeah, there's a big window, and they're sitting on the bench sort of opposite that window.
turn Emma.
Adelai's just gonna sit on the window.
There's a gentleman next to her with darker skin and dark brown hair. They're both wearing this luxurious sort of red gold colored clothing.
So I'm gonna go to Emma.
Song so familiar.
Because it sounds like the tango.
Oh, that's fine.
I like to say
Yes.
That's exactly why.
If it's the one with the blindfold and the other person next to them.
Yes.
Okay, so let me get this straight. The person you're scared about watching has at least a blindfold on.
Following us.
How? No. What? You can't know if he was in front of her. How could she be following you?
Well, she has that young man next to her.
The wife lady in the blindfold didn't give a crap about her. Or
But
about
here's the thing. The people who give the tours and stuff, they seem pretty
Worried.
surprised and worried that they were here, which can't be a good sign.
I'd be worried too if they knew a say that murder person was also here. It's pretty much what you know about a person that makes you concerned.
What the hell are you talking about? Knees you in the shin?
In a public place!
No, I made sure there was no one around to hear us or read.
Very subtle.
And
Yeah.
Very
Alec and Alice are wandering between groups of you all at this point. So
I'm gonna wait till they leave before we continue the conversation.
yeah.
Yeah, you're very subtle with your subtlety.
But I think when
One of
Alec
the-
gets here,
one
he'll
of the-
actually lean over to Alice and point out the window and mutter something to her.
One of the
And she'll
blindfolded-
blink and go, "Huh, that's interesting,"
You know you're bad at.
and immediately walk out the door and start talking to them.
Damn,
Oh, Lord.
I was gonna ask if they're going. Wait, both of them go out?
No, she
Or just-
leaves without Alec, who's she immediately she's interested in something, so she immediately goes to check it out.
Then I'm gonna go over to Alex and be like, "Hi. What is
Shari and Caleb are famous detectives.
Oh, good to know.
Wonder why they're here.
Who knows? Shari is renowned to be pretty eccentric.
Window shopping?
They just want to go to the museum, like everyone else.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. Thievery is not one of the crimes she is known to be against.
Good to know.
Don't say good to know. You're making it weird.
Fine, I'll say interesting.
That's another point against why you think funny. This is also a museum or a public space where people go. They're just going to the museum. And they're also, in a blindfold.
I guess she does kind of stand out, doesn't she?
Yeah. That's
Well,
not.
I'm not one to judge a woman in her eccentricity.
Oh wait, I'm sorry.
No, you really aren't.
Alice has walked up to them at this point and is having like a very like reactive conversation. She's definitely a person that talks with her hands. Like 15 minutes later, she comes back in and is like, man, they're real nice.
How did you last this long on Earth?
She just smiles at you. They're local heroes.
Did no one ever teach you stranger danger?
From a detective. In a public place.
Fair.
Do you appear half the corner of your mouth half the time? I don't exactly think about half things you were saying about.
Athena nodding along with what Simon is saying.
Aaron just blind.
Athena like floats behind Aron and just nods.
Aron, the only one who could keep this guys afloat. Aron also just throwing them under the bus. They're being stupid.
I too am very scared when a person goes to a public place. Very suspicious. They're clearly going after me. They're clearly following me.
Though I think you can all take note that maybe kind of subtly, but also not subtly, every so often employees will like walk near to where the two are sitting, very clearly keeping an eye on both of them. Like, the employees are worried about something.
Well, half this stuff in the museum, if not all of it, has been stolen.
Wait, what?
I didn't realize that this place was just evil but fictional. I didn't realize anything it's a bunch of
It's probably the most realistic museum there is in a fantasy world.
borrowed artifacts.
It's called acquisitions.
No, it's called long-term borrowing.
Yeah.
No, it's called stealing from a culture.
That's stealing the strong word. More
They literally walked
Aaron's
into a
living-
place, took a mummy from its burial grounds, a sacred mummy, and shipped it off to England to be eaten.
Eaten?
Yeah,
Yes,
did
in
you not know
Victorian
about
times,
the mummy thing?
mummies-
We've talked about this in
Yeah.
art history. Anyway.
Yeah, mummies were eaten in Victorian times. It was a whole diet.
It was one of the interesting things that I wrote down.
Ah, yes, cannibalism.
my other characters I play in D&D have allowed me to reword crimes to others.
They were also made into pigments.
Yeah,
That's where
like-
the color mummy brown comes from.
That I'm not surprised
Mummies.
about.
I was
Yeah.
like,
They thought that the ashes and remains of mummies had healing properties.
It's like,
Why?
they're dead. How could they heal you? It didn't work for them. They're dead. England, what was happening?
Anyway, enough about our real world history. Back to this fantasy world museum.
Yeah.
Yes. Fake world.
do I notice anything's up in the children's part of the area, or are we just chilling?
There's only one employee in the children's area because it doesn't have anything worth stealing in it. They're all like replicas of things, so the children can play with them. It's just sort of like a guide if anything happens, and
Okay.
they'll meander about, and if you have any questions, they're there. But that one doesn't go anywhere.
I think I'm gonna go seek out Jane and update her on the situation.
I'm going to go look off to try to spot some jewelry that I probably know is from Solaris.
Familiar. There are smaller sections that are on like places from around the world. Like there is an Evren section and a Aron section. They're all neatly labeled. The Evren section has a scaled down model of the city of Ashbourne. And so does the Bell and Aron section for Solaris.
Do they have where the portals are marked too?
No, they don't have that. In fact, from your knowledge, the Solaris model replica is just not accurate. Like it's their best guess. It's not accurate.
How'd they even get this from someplace? Did they just look off in the distance and guess? This looks like a brain.
Not accurate whatsoever.
Anyway, you all spend some
I'm gonna
time.
find Jane.
Okay. Jane, you received this news.
Hey Jane, guess what? We're being watched by detectives. Followed by detectives.
Are we sure they're watching us specifically?
Well, one of them is watching us. One of them is blind.
Are we sure they're blind?
She had a blindfold on. So I would assume so.
Why don't
I love that everyone else in this world thinks, oh, she's just covering her eyes for some weird reason. I'm not going to question it.
I mean, people do question her about it.
Yeah. And then there's just us who are like, oh, she's just blind because she has a blindfold on.
Makes total sense.
it might be their version of sunglasses. We don't know that.
You can see through some blindfolds. Wait.
Didn't it look like transparent? Like I haven't seen her, but
No,
okay.
No.
it's crimson. Dark
Well, I
crimson.
wouldn't know.
Famous detective on the case, and apparently the one guy who survived hired a famous detective onto the case.
No.
Aaron
No.
has a question.
He was hired by the trade master, the
Okay.
head of the family, who was not present. He was at a
Ben did
council
not
meeting.
dare to hire someone.
No,
I
not
was
Ben.
thinking about our fears.
No,
Ben-
he did, didn't he?
Ben's
That's
dad.
meta.
Oh.
Ben's dad.
I'm pretty sure he did, but like we don't know that.
Ben did not.
Ben did not. Ben's dad did.
Um,
Let's make it a chill.
Jane will just go, well, if
Yeah.
they're famous, find out more about them.
Oh, guess who's joining us? Alice. Give it a minute. Hey,
Hello, Alice. Oh my gosh. Dude, that looks
The hair.
What did you do?
Oh,
oh
lag.
no, the
Oh.
Wi-Fi problems are real.
You may never know what happened.
We'll never know.
The cliffhanger.
Dun, dun, dun. It's not that much of a cliffhanger.
They went to the beach and got
I
stuck
don't know if we can hear you at
I
all.
think your mic
Say
is not
something.
working.
I hadn't tried
Oh,
speaking.
There you go.
There we go.
Accomplished.
I need water.
I'm
I like
gonna
your
I'm
hair.
gonna throw you right into it, Alice. You've led them to the Blackfeather Emporium, so for their little tasks, where Alec has pointed out that a famous detective, Shari, and her assistant, Kaylin, are in the area, and you have gone up to talk to them because they look interesting. Because Shari has a blindfold on.
That they're going after her in particular, because clearly people can't go to public places in this movie.
And you've heard some more concerning things from this lot, and there's a mild ring of panic.
Not only among us, but among
The
the
staff
Workers.
seems kind of suspiciously panicked too.
About us?
Everything is
No,
stolen
about the
and that's okay.
detectives.
Oh.
They're
Okay.
just in vicinity just causes panic apparently.
You good?
Nothing's opening!
But Alec pointed them out to you.
Yeah, I'll walk up to him.
And Kaylin, the assistant, will greet you. Can we help you with something?
I actually just wanted to come and say hello. I don't know. You looked interesting.
Shari throws her head back and laughs. That's the point. Don't I? Aren't I fantastic? Fantastically interesting. What do you look like? Describe it verbally to me. I can't see you.
Oh, so I'm not very tall. I have really, really long red hair. And you can probably hear that I have like 4 pounds of jewelry on.
Yes, the rattling. There's also something going on with your feet.
Oh yes, one of them is not my foot. I have a prosthetic leg, so it's made of metal.
Ah, curiouser and curiouser. What's your name, love?
I'm Alice.
Pleasure to meet you, Alice. I'm Shari. This is my seeing eye assistant, Kaylin. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Seeing eye assistant. Interesting job.
I have learned a lot.
Yeah, I bet. You guys probably don't go to the most wonderful places, see the most wonderful sights.
I mean, you'd be surprised. The percentage of crimes that we go to are usually solved by going to a rich person's house. I'd say we've seen some fantastic locales. Usually there's just more blood than usual.
I bet.
More exposed blood than usual.
Yeah, and I would think that usually the morale in the city is low.
Yes, tragedies happen.
And you're the ones that are you're looking into the unfortunate massacre up at the.
Yep, we were hired by the trade master. First time we've been hired by someone on the throne. I'd say we've got a bit of a reputation now.
That's awesome. It's always awesome to be recognized for your craft.
That it is. Have you noticed anything strange about this place? And she grins at you like it's a challenge.
Really, it's kind of just a strange place in general. But have you looked into the statue that literally just popped up in the market?
Yes, I heard about that. Unfortunately, it's a little hard to investigate works of art for myself.
and the poem, because it's really hard to interpret a poem. I get that. Yeah.
See how the stanzas are written. And that will change the meaning depending on where the line breaks are. And she sighs and shakes her head and kind of like laughs a little bit. That would be my job.
Aren't you supposed to give a big fat pause in between the stanzas?
Yeah. But also, we generally deal in, what did you call it, Shari? More exciting crimes? Minor vandalism isn't really my thing.
I don't feel like it's vandalism.
I mean, that's what it would technically be on the
Yeah.
law books, but, like, it's not really. It's, like, art, but...
And it's, like, the whole...
Very cryptic.
I don't know, it doesn't feel like... Yeah, it doesn't feel malicious either. It feels like it literally, like, oops, it popped up here. There's nothing really we can do about it.
Oh,
Yeah.
well. Better luck next time.
But other than that, like, I don't know, I don't think it gets much stranger than a massacre and a magically appearing statue.
No, I suppose not. But I've been definitely kept busy since I moved here.
Yeah, I can see that. Well, I wish you the best of luck in your endeavors. I think I'm going to go and rejoin my group over there.
You as well. Is your group happen to be, and she'll describe the people in the window, so Adalaie, Emma, and Aron?
Unfortunately.
Yeah, Kevin's been telling me that they've been staring at us for like a good 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Please,
It's the whole subtlety thing.
please inform them that I know I am interesting, but I am also not a zoo. I'm not an exhibit at this museum. Though I appreciate the stares, really, feeding my ego.
I also do believe that your presence really, really, really put the museum staff is definitely intimidated. So you've got that going for you.
It's the look, points to her blindfolds.
It really, like, if you had just done tinted glasses, I don't think that would have done it. I really think that the blindfold was the way to go.
I feel so validated. And it is a pleasure to have met you, Miss Alice.
You too. And then Alice will take off 2 of her bracelets and like hand one to each of them.
Helen will guide her hand so she can see where your hand is, and takes the bracelet.
I'll do one of the bracelets that has like a lot of engravings in it.
Okay. And Shari will happily slip it on. And will like hold their hand out to Kaylin and goes, how does it look? And Kaylin, stone-faced, beautiful.
I give him his. Well, I appreciate you guys talking with me. Good luck.
And she'll nod to you. And they'll go back to talking amongst themselves.
And I'll just walk back up to Alec and be like, they were lovely people.
Yeah, I've heard they're eccentric but nice. And that kind of sums up a lot of Andrathan locals, so.
Apparently, this is the first job that they were hired by the Crown to do.
Doesn't surprise me. They worked smaller cases first.
Yeah. Like I said, it's really nice to get noticed for your craft. I'm happy for them.
Oh, they will always notice. The throne has not shut up about them. Believe me, the Blade Master has talked. A lot.
Was this just the first opportunity they had to do,
yeah, this was kind of like the first.
Come on over here.
You have enough reputation that we can now hire you.
Like, we've been actually waiting for this. Like, we haven't been waiting for a tragedy, but we've been waiting.
Pretty much. I mean, she wasn't technically hired by the Crown in a governmental manner. She was hired by the Trade Master because his family died horribly.
A crown, I believe is how she put it.
Well, fuck.
Oh, I'm gonna turn to the others and be like, apparently she didn't take it very kindly that you guys were just ogling at her, so next time just go up and talk.
Not ogling, more of the other 2 were concerned this one was in a public space with a blindfold, and I expect they were being followed. And then I said, that sounds stupid.
Look, we've had quite a bit of the run-ins.
Yeah.
With people following us, so...
Like, are you
We've been kidnapped quite a few times.
We're a bit suspicious.
For clarification, like Cassidy clarification, were they actually following us, or did they just happen to be in the same place as us?
They were at the Duck's Cradle the last night.
And now
we're walking behind
and they're not
me
staying
and
there?
They did Byron there.
Oh, okay, then Alice doesn't understand your feelings, but she doesn't vocalize it, but you can see it on her face.
I mean, Alice, you do understand their feelings, maybe better than they understand their feelings. Empathy is a real bitch.
She understands them, but she's not validating them.
Yeah, it's not suspicion or caution that they are feeling, it is panic.
And paranoia, like straight up paranoia?
Yeah, like panic and paranoia.
Okay. Well, we were here to meet with someone, correct?
He's not here.
He's not here.
He's not here?
No.
Unfortunate.
He's
Did we check with his bosses?
He got a assignment, to the
Do we
best
know
of my
to-
understanding.
To where?
No.
Probably
Staff
some other
this-
country.
Yeah. So I left him a message saying, "Give me back my purse, you fucker." And apparently he also.
Is that why we were after him?
That's why I was after him. But also I
Because he took
mentioned
your
a little bit
purse?
about that we have something else to talk to him about.
A few something else's.
Yeah. But still.
So did you ask where he was going?
I doubt
Or when he would return?
In a week.
And in a week. So you guys just going to stay for a week?
I guess.
Likely.
Subtly crosses fingers behind back.
Why?
Guess we'll have to plan the full tour. Alex says.
The full tour?
I guess it's a week. The half tour.
Not even the half tour.
Yeah, now that I think about it, we could just focus on the district and give them a full district tour.
I don't know. These guys seem like the broad overview kind of people.
I guess they're not as detail oriented as you, it seems.
Yeah. Well, they were sweet, and they seemed like they were making much headway in that case. So.
That's good.
Which
bloody tragedy?
case?
What happened?
Yeah. The massacre.
Oh, that one.
What other case?
I don't know what other cases are going
magically
on.
appearing statue would be interesting. But I doubt they're, like she said, looking into art.
I mean, you never know.
Well, so you're staying a week. What time is it?
It's probably about 3 in the afternoon at this point.
3 in the afternoon. My leg hurts like a mother effer. What do we want to do? We
Preferably
could-
have you take a break.
Lunch sounds good. There's probably some good restaurants around here.
Yeah.
Because the
We
Black
could
Feather
do
Emporium
that.
is in the richer part of town.
We could do that.
Do we have the money to do that?
Or
Good question.
we could go
I
hike the
do.
trail that I really like because it has an amazing view.
Didn't you just say your leg hurt?
Yeah.
Like a son of a bitch. But yes.
If this ends
But-
with me having to carry you back somewhere,
Again.
Why don't we just head back?
I will hold up the prosthetic leg, like literally take it off and hold it up and be like, I'm not actually that heavy.
Why don't we just head back?
twig.
and
I am a
something in,
twig.
like, the
I can't.
middle?
You're taller than me. I can't carry you places, Alice.
Not by that much.
Sounds like a reoccurring issue.
Why don't we just go to the middle district, grab some lunch, then head back to the tavern?
Yeah,
What are
a
we
day
gonna
of
do
rest
there?
would be nice.
Any rest would be nice.
You have a house.
I have a
Do
house.
I have a house? No, I don't have a house.
I have
I'm
a house.
squatting at his house.
At least
I saw
you're
his
honest
room,
about
and it-
that.
I stole his room, his extra room, and his good wine, and I think I broke a cup.
You what?
I didn't mean to!
When did you do that?
Last night!
We will have conversations about the roommate tax later.
I will.
You will
I
be doing the
replace
dishes for the
cup.
rest of the week.
I do the dishes anyway.
Well, it's gonna be one dish less.
I'll just use a different cup.
Should I get you wooden cups next time?
Yes.
Wooden
Alice
cups
will find a
are
way
so
to break
pretty.
those too.
Like, honestly, if you're going to get wooden cups, yes. They're pretty.
Just try not to break any more of the expensive glass
I
that I
didn't.
got
It's
as a
not like I
gift from my
intended-
boss.
Ooh.
Would you
Please stop.
rather have me have drank it straight out of the bottle?
Honestly, yeah. The glass was probably worth more than the bottle.
I can make you a better cup.
Are they just arguing in like a mobile museum about a cup?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
It's just
Oh, look at that
something-
nice dinosaur. I didn't know they had dinosaurs here.
All the dinosaur bones
Okay, so are we going to get food?
I am starving.
Are we getting-
I wouldn't.
Are we gonna get food, or are we getting like food, like street food?
It's an
Food.
One is better than the
just,
I prefer food.
The
in
street
quote,
food in the
like
Drathis is
street
much
food.
better than our actual food. So yeah, we're getting
Yeah.
food. Plus, it's cheaper.
Food should. Yes. It's lovely food. Because, like, real food is, like,
I have it within Rich District.
not real food.
Yeah. We
Oh.
could go to one of the fancy Sage Master's magic restaurants, but, like, that feels like an end of the week thing.
Yeah,
It's kind of
like
like
a
show,
grand
like
finale.
it's like a showstopper. You don't start with that because then everything's downhill.
yeah. Like, watch your tea pour itself. Okay, and now go back to pouring your own tea.
What?
Watch the cups perform.
It's a magic
musical.
restaurant.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
This means I barely understand like every other word.
That seems like it's straight out of
Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast?
Yeah.
That is exactly what I said when I went there. I was like, this is giving me Beauty and the Beast, Alice in Wonderland vibes.
I had a lot of questions, and she explained to me the entire narrative through the course of the whole entire dinner. I had more questions after we ended than when we started, but it was a good story.
I explained to him both the original version of Beauty and the Beast, which is not all happy, and then of course I explained to him the Disney version of it.
Did you explain to him the musical version too?
Well, like, the Disney one is like kind of the musical. They follow almost the exact same plot.
Alright,
And
can
the songs
you have
are
this
only
question over
slightly
different
different.
versions of fictional cinema?
We'll montage this. You guys are walking and talking. You get your street
Okay.
food, and you go back to the tavern.
Question. Can I look if they're following us? Just glance over the shoulder real quick.
Not obviously. You don't see them when you look for them.
Okay. Noted. Wish I still had my mind reading powers and I could just scan the mind. Damn, I missed that.
Although, Alice, they were, Shari was feeling kinda smug through the whole conversation. Which, I mean, that kind of strikes you as her always emotion. She just seemed like a kinda smug human being.
Person, yeah. Do I feel that residual smugness around me?
Tracking smug? No, you don't. It doesn't seem like they're following you at this point.
I'm not worried about it.
You kind of got
How
the
is
feeling.
everyone else feeling?
The mild paranoia and panic is still there. The deep wells of depression, definitely
And
present.
yep.
Guilt, heavy, all the time. Mourning, present. Positive emotions, hard to find.
I would like to let the younger kids pick out a piece of jewelry each. And just be like, which one do you
from your
want?
collection.
Yes.
Well, Alice,
Alyssa?
Yeah, Alyssa. My mind just had a brain fart. It's fine. Alyssa will pick out the most sparkly, most pinkest thing she can find, and Ezekiel will kind of disappointed because they clearly both wanted the same one. But he'll pick the next pinkest.
There's a lot of pink, so they have lots of options.
And Felix will take one that looks the most expensive.
Oh, so she actively notices him looking for the most expensive one, and like he's like, "Oh, I want that one," and it's probably like a diamond necklace or something. And she goes, "No, not that one." And she'll like get into her bag and like open up her little wooden chest and like search to the bottom and pull out like a necklace that has like a big chunky diamond on it. And be like,
He
"Let's
will.
choose one."
Whistle and put it on. He'll goes, I feel better already.
Sellouts.
Felix nods.
Our character, does she just have like a small army of just like on hand, just absurd amounts of valuables?
Yes.
Her entire neck and up to like from her wrists to her elbows are covered in jewelry. Some of them are like really cheap, and some of them are like really expensive. And yes, on hand does have large amounts of valuables.
Ah.
Hey, this is not the other
Everything in
campaign.
response is just
You're not thieving.
Yeah.
You, as you are walking back, you're getting pretty close to the duck's cradle, eating your food, when someone with the postal uniform runs up. Adalaie, at first you think it's going for you, and you're like, oh god, what, did I get a response already? What's the response? But he runs past you into Alec and hands him Mr. Ebazar? That would be me. Mail for you. And he looks at it and then immediately looks dejected. You know that the symbol on the front is from his work, but it probably just means he has work.
Are you picking up a shift? Is that what's happening right now?
Give me a second. I thought I got the week off, but it's fine. And he reads it over. Oh, staff my ass. You just let Christy go on vacation again. Muttering
Did
to
you manage to
himself.
do the whole thing where he was like, I'm sick, I need to use my vacation days?
It's... Ugh. You try dealing with the Blade Master. She's very hard to say no to.
Well, I guess have fun at work then.
Try dealing with the what? Who's this boss now?
The Blade Master. He looks down and starts reading it. Well, good news. I don't have to go right away. It's not a rush off to work type deal. Bad news. The Blade Master definitely knows that you're all Kingmakers and are in town.
God damn.
Oh, damn.
Oh.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I mean,
there goes.
she didn't say it outright, but she was like, I heard you had guests. ... Like she wrote out the ...
Dot, dot,
She
dot.
wants us to come visit. Is that what I'm hearing?
I kind of got that impression. You don't have to. I find it hard to say no to her, but like I can say no to her for other people just fine.
I don't want to give you that satisfaction.
Are you kidding me? Really? Is that the reason you're accepting? You've been finding subtle excuses to avoid meeting my boss for months.
Yeah. But now that you've outright said, I'll say no to her for you, so I get to say no to her.
You able to make my life more difficult?
Yes.
Are you going
I
to say
am
that
your
you're the
friend.
Kingmaker? Because I'm not going.
Yeah, screw that.
Yeah, no, thank you.
See, I'm gonna write the no.
Yeah,
The
no,
no.
right, all the no.
Yeah.
He's gonna say no.
It seems like majority no.
That's
I'll
fair.
write that you're basically here on vacation and you don't want to take guests.
Yes, we heard this was like Florida.
Again, that's been referenced multiple times in front of me. She, like I, will not know what that is.
Perfect.
Paradise Island for old people.
From off planet.
And he
Florida's
will
not an
write on
island.
the back of the note and like hail down the same messenger boy before he can walk fully away. Like, can you deliver this back to the person you just got this from? Thanks. Really. Lifesaver.
You got
Let's
this!
back up the mountain dreadfully.
You're the best.
Well,
Let's
aren't you going
die.
to tip him?
Oh, right. Here is my meager salary for the week.
Wow.
If you keep making me pay for food, Alice, we're gonna be broke. Neither of us will have a house.
But the thing is I don't even have to make you pay for food.
No, you just
I
give me a look.
Oh, no, I don't even give you a look. I just let the check sit there for 30 seconds longer without saying anything, and you're like, oh, I got it.
Still taking advantage of my niceness.
E.
And they continue to bicker until you get back to the duck's cradle.
You know, that statue did point to that one place. To the castle at the top of the hill.
And I'm pretty sure it's a false lead.
I think that's too obvious.
Well, if you want to go to the castle, go storm the castle for all I care.
I really don't want to.
Then stop mentioning the castle.
Very quietly, I want to lean back to Alec and be like, does the old lady run the show? I'm a little confused. Why is she being so short with them?
The group dynamics here seem very complicated. It's like jumping
Yeah.
halfway in to like a play. We're here in the second act.
Why? But like, why is everyone angry at everyone? I don't understand.
Do you get the subtle feeling that they all kind of hate each other?
It's not very subtle.
Some more than others.
Them two. I'm gonna point to Jane and Emma, and I'm gonna be like, I think that theirs is like a petty disagreement. I don't think they hate each other.
Okay, but
Aaron
like,
hates everyone equally.
He just looks not happy to be here. Points to Aron.
Like the
Like, I
entire.
really think he doesn't want to be in this group.
yeah. So, you know those suspicions you shared with me the other night?
Yes.
I see where they're coming from.
Wait, which one? The one about
Yes,
the old
that-
ladies?
Yes.
Or the one about the boy and the two girls?
Well, both
Both
of them,
of them?
actually. Both of them, actually.
Yeah, yeah. I think I know. I think I might be able to sniff out the boy. I think he's here.
The boy is in this
Points
room at
over.
this very moment.
Which one is it?
Points over at Kai.
They haven't been very
The
obvious about
boy.
it, because actually Jane has been not around him specifically, because she's been with Alyssa. And Alyssa's been comfortable with
I can
him.
feel your emotions. It doesn't matter if you're being obvious about it.
Could she feel like who the emotions are directed at as well?
No,
That's really
she'd just have to wait for a spike, which is like why she said, I think I can sniff it out.
okay.
But you can
Not, I know who it is.
Like out of character, you can
Yeah.
like feel emotions. Huh. A radiation of just I hate.
It's like Emma's powers, but Emma doesn't have them anymore. I mean, Jane's powers, but Jane doesn't have them anymore.
Yeah.
Alec is going to say, yeah, see where they're coming from? They couldn't be more suspicious if they tried.
I know. They're not even subtle about snooping.
No.
Like peeking
If
through
that
the window?
If that detective wasn't suspicious of them before, like, she's definitely suspicious now, right?
Yeah. But she's staying at the inn, correct?
She's here last night, yeah.
Okay, then we'll probably see her again before the night is over.
Yeah, we'll probably see them again. I overheard them
Does she
talk.
seem like the type to take a drink?
Yeah, she was drinking last night. I overheard them
Oh.
talking because I had nothing more interesting to do. This group is not much for conversation when you're not around, apparently.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. I was alone. I had no one to sass. It's very sad. The sass level in this group seems very contained and very prickly.
Well, we lost our sass
Yeah.
to a fire.
But, yeah, I heard them talking last night, and I think they have a little more reason to be suspicious than they believe. And he gives you, like, a look that goes like, ha ha, ha ha.
Of this group?
They think Shari seems to be staying here because she thinks that the culprit lives nearby. Or is currently staying nearby. From what I overheard her and Kaden talking last night.
Do you think it's a blood magic thing?
It could just be a magic thing. No one knows how Shari is so good at strolling crimes. My bet is on magic. Like, it's definitely setting off some things. And while they are talking in a one corner, let's see. Who would he? Jane. Cade's is gonna pull you aside.
Okay.
So, I have some concerns to bring up about our new friends, and he'll point to Alice and Alec.
Great.
We can gather everyone when they leave tonight. I can share those.
Jen will give like a subtle like nod. They weren't being obvious while I was gone, were they?
It's not so much that. We'll discuss it later.
Jane will go back to acting amiable. And you can probably feel her.
Oh yeah,
her
this is
emotions are just
suddenly suspicion, just like
It's not that. It's just she's just been in a foul mood.
I feel it spike, and I just quirk my eyebrow and glance over my shoulder, but then go back to my conversation.
I feel like it doesn't spike. She's like constantly suspicious right now.
And the whole group has a level of paranoia that is really unparalleled.
And it's been there the whole time.
But eventually night.
Find Kai.
Okay, yep. He's sitting at a booth.
I'm just gonna go up to him and be like, "Hey, Kai, I was thinking last night, like going over before, and I just realized something. You know, when I was able to read minds, I'm sorry, but I definitely read your mind more than a few times. Sorry about that.
You
That
and
was an
Jane
invasion of privacy.
are actually very obvious when you use your powers on other people. You think you're both very subtle. You're actually not at all subtle. I was aware.
Okay. Well, looking back on it, your mind seems to have a lot of memories purposefully being erased.
He will sort of I think his face will turn blank, and he'll give you a look to where Alyssa is sitting and make sure that she's not listening.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll nod in agreement.
Were you aware of that?
As one can be that they're forgetting things. They're forgetting things. Blah. I slipped into British. It infects my voice. Anyway.
Well, we have like one British-speaking character. It just kind of infects everybody.
Yeah. Eventually, everyone's gonna be British, and I can't stop it.
Yeah.
That seemed like a problem, that someone was forcing you to forget things.
Yeah, it was.
Is it still happening? It's not happening anymore, is it?
No.
Good. That would be
At
really
least,
bad.
not that I know of. You don't exactly know if you forget something.
Yeah, that's fair.
Unless you are litigious in writing things down.
Yeah, or someone mentioned something that you forgot saying. Do you have any idea, are you comfortable with talking about it?
And he looks over at Alyssa again and frowns.
If you don't want to talk about it, it's fine. It's concerning.
Not right now.
Okay.
Maybe another time though.
Yeah.
And thank you for your confession in admitting to reading my mind for the first time. Really big steps here after I know you have lost the ability to do that.
Yeah, I probably should have done that sooner. A lot
The shade.
He's poking light fun at you. He clearly doesn't hold any sort of grudge.
Figured. Your thoughts were mostly foggy anyway, so I could barely get anything clear.
I guess that's a positive. Night will eventually fall. Eventually Alice and Alec, at least Alec will head back home. I don't know what Alice is planning on doing.
Alice will linger because she kind of wants to run into the detectives again.
They won't come back until very, very late, so we'll be waiting a while.
Then probably not. She'll probably, but she wants to approach Felix and be like, "You seem like the kind of kid that likes reading. Am I reading that correctly?"
I am okay with reading. Sure.
Wait, the kind of kid that would prefer reading over just sitting there and doing nothing.
Yes, definitely reading that right. Reading
Okay.
over boredom any day.
And then she'll like reach in her bag and be like, "They might be girly books, but they're still pretty good." And we'll like pull out like Wizard of Oz and Alice in Wonderland.
He will take them gratefully. Entertainment, blessed be.
She'll just pat him on the head.
You're just like a giant, just like storage container.
You're a big backpack, guys. Like,
And big
she got to come
backpack.
prepared.
But yeah, eventually you head off. Cades will give you a look, Jane, once Alice has left.
But goodbye to
Jane's
everyone.
gonna make sure to wake up Felix for this meeting.
He likes to go to sleep.
Yeah.
He's 13. If anything, his sleep schedule is more messed up than yours. He's a middle schooler.
Has Felix been present for most of the meetings, or because I'm pretty sure he hasn't?
No, he has not, because in the cathedral, you guys were purposefully excluding him when you were talking very specifically about
Is
the
he
deaths
going
of
to join the
52 people.
Is he gonna join the grown-ups table?
Yep. I think he's got to.
Come over to the grown-ups table. Your presence is required.
I want.
You have been summoned by
I
the
want-
Council of Not So Good Adults.
I feel like Felix
Come
already
hither.
knows about this, so it's important that he's included in these talks now. So.
Yeah.
And go meet up in presumably Jane's room.
Yep.
And Jane will be like, so, Felix,
Yeah?
we've had some talks about the whole Adalaie situation. While you
Adalaie there.
while you were asleep, that I think you should really be caught up on.
I need to be caught up on this.
You were there.
You were there.
I was not in the talks.
Yes, you were.
You were.
This was
It
like
was
a
about
couple days ago.
Cover story. The cover
Oh,
story.
that Adalaie talk.
Before we get to that, Cade says, I have some concerns about our new friends.
Acquaintances.
Acquaintances.
They seem friendly enough, so I'm going to call them friends. Because they seem nice to me. And perhaps not so much as concerns, more as here's some information that I know now. Two things. One, I think you'll be interested in, and I don't know how you'll react to that one, so I'll start with the first one. One or both of them is definitely also has similar powers to me. They can sense your emotions.
Like my level of emotion sensing, or
Like my level of emotion sensing.
okay.
Is it the one that keeps on interrogating me? Is that what she's trying to do?
Again, one or both of them, not quite sure.
Better to assume both.
The second one is one of them is a fae
Oh,
in
shit.
disguise
Oh.
as a person.
Oh,
Well, we know which one that is.
yeah. Can't be the Kingmaker.
Just thought I'd share that. Yeah, it's the Attic, I believe his name was. The one I'm getting the weird magic vibes from. Thought I'd
Looks over at Adalaie.
Thought I'd
say.
I'd fill that gap in now and give you those pieces of information.
That helps. Thanks, Kate.
What am I here for?
Therapy?
Emotional support. Therapy.
A lot of
Yeah.
things.
Can't be your therapist. Can't. Just really can't.
Being a good
Kate
friend?
is a
Being our
friend.
best
Kate is
friend?
I'll be a
Friend,
good
yes.
friend. Good. I'm signed up for that. My name is
The
on the dotted
therapist friend.
friend contract.
Therapist friend.
No, mom friend.
Mom friend. Yes.
Being the only person who's sane here?
Yeah. Sane friend TM check.
Sane is a bit of a, I don't know. Sane is a strong word.
Well, name who else who has had the brain cell.
I think, okay, not Adalaie. No offense, but
No, Adalaie has
Not-
never had the brain cell.
Not Jane, that's for sure. And not
Emma.
Jane either.
And Emma, definitely not. Athena has
No.
proved that.
I mean, you could make a case that Aron has had the brain cell at some point. in time.
Occasionally.
I broke you guys out of a character.
With brute force.
No, I did a stealth mission, and I didn't get caught.
Anyway, as you guys have this discussion, we will pull away. And into the distant past, where a somewhat familiar fae sits talking. One is silver, with 8 blood-red eyes, spindly spider-like limbs, tucked back behind him as he sits, tea growing colder in front of him. Sylvis. The other is red, black, and white, with a wolfish smile and a short figure. Delta. You are sure? Sylvis hissed. Positive, he shrugged, taking a long swig of tea. 2 decades' time, beneath the Moordell, is when the Kingmakers will arrive, and a few short weeks before the turning of the century. And how did you get that information? You're not prophetic. Neither, it turns out, was Arshana, and look where we are now. And you just expect me to trust you? Move my whole operation on your word alone? I don't really expect you to do anything. Delta sighed, meeting Sylvis's gaze. Sylvis felt a shiver run down his spine, and he was reminded exactly who he was dealing with. Delta was the oldest free fae, maybe the oldest fae alive, full stop, and his power showed. But, Delta said smiling, and suddenly the feeling faded. I'd really appreciate it if you did. It would be a big help to have some eyes on them as soon as they land. You want me to babysit? Delta laughed. Oh, great snow! Destiny will decide their fate. If she wants you to meet them, they'll find you before you find them. But it would be nice to know for once, and I think it'd be nice for you to have more people to talk to. I have plenty of people, he said, suddenly feeling a bit thrown off. No, Delta shook his head. You have pawns. There's a really big difference. A pawn can't be your friend. A person can. Are you offering an alliance? Offering a chance at friendship, Syl? Not making a political deal. I don't need your friendship. Delta laughed again. No, you most certainly don't. He stood up. I can't force any friendship, but I do hope you keep what I said in mind. The world's going to change in the coming years, and if we want it to be for the better, we're going to have to fight for it. And with that, episode 54 of Kingmakers, Toll, comes to a close. I've been your MC, and we will see you all next time.